Hello students. In this lecture, we will learn how to evaluate performance of various hydraulic circuit design solutions for a pressing operation. The problem statement is a single acting upstroking press having cylinder bore diameter of 500 mm has following breakdown of total operation time. Rapid approach of 200 mm in 8 seconds at 30 bar pressure. Then pressing operation for 40 mm in 10 seconds at 300 bar pressure. Curing then takes place in 20 seconds. Return is by gravity in 15 seconds. And finally, loading and unloading in 22 seconds. Our objective is to design a suitable hydraulic circuit to give maximum efficiency. So what is upstroking press? In upstroking press, the piston carrying lower half of the mold moves upward and upper half of the mold is fixed. You can watch this video to understand the operation of upstroking molding press. The upstroking molding press has few advantages. The first one, the return is by gravity, and thus electric motor is not running during this part of cycle, and thus it saves energy. Another advantage is that there is no issue of overrunning load, which forces actuator to move in an uncontrolled manner, as in case of downstroking press, especially with meter in speed control. Use of counterbalance valve or meter out speed control eliminate this problem, but at the expense of efficiency and thereby energy. The bore diameter of the cylinder is 500 mm. After placing the charge in lower mold half, the pressurized fluid enters the full bore side of cylinder and piston moves up rapidly for 200 mm in 8 seconds. The pressure here is 30 bar to lift the load up. During next upward movement of the piston by 40 mm, which occurs in 10 seconds, the mold is forcefully closed to force the charge to flow and fill the mold. The actual pressure required for this pressing operation is 300 bar. The mold may be heated with electric cartridge heater. The charge is then allowed to cure for 20 seconds at 30 bar pressure. The pump then stops and position of direction control valve is changed to let the flow or let the fluid from full bore side to return to the tank, causing retraction of the piston. The piston will retract fully in 15 seconds. The molded part is then unloaded and fresh charge is loaded. The loading and unloading takes place in 22 seconds. Now our objective is to design hydraulic circuit which will offer maximum efficiency. The system efficiency is the ratio of work done to energy supply. So before we actually design circuit, we will first analyze these operations to determine the work done for each operation. The work input will depend on choice of our design. The first operation is rapid approach, for which the piston moves through 200 mm, that is 0.2 meters, in 8 seconds, that is in 0.133 minutes. Thus the speed of the piston is distance travel upon time, that is 1.503 meter per minute. Since the piston diameter is 500 mm, that is 0.5 meters, its area is pi by 4 d square and the speed is 1.503 meter per minute. The flow rate is given by A into V, which is 294.5 liters per minute. The pressure required during this part of cycle is 30 bar. We know that if pressure P is in bar and flow rate Q is in liters per minute, then power in kilowatt is given by equation P into Q upon 600. Hence, the power required for rapid approach is pressure 30 bar multiplied by the flow rate of 294.5 liters per minute divided by 600. So this is power in kilowatt, which is 14.729 kilowatt, which is 14,729 watt. The work done is power in watt multiplied by time in second. Thus, the work done here is 14729 multiplied by 8, the time in seconds, which is equal to 117.8 into 10 raised to 3 Newton meter. In similar manner, we can calculate the work done for pressing operation, which comes out to be 236.1 into 10 raised to 3 Newton meter. During curing process, since there is no displacement of piston, work done is 0. And of course, no work is done during the return as it is by gravity, and of course during unloading and unloading operation too. The net work done is therefore 117.8 into 10 raised to 3 plus 236.1 into 10 raised to 3, which is equal to 353.9 into 10 raised to 3 Newton meter. Now, let us consider the first option as a single fixed displacement pump. Since we are using a fixed displacement pump, the flow rate capacity of the pump should be equal to maximum flow requirement of a system, which is 294.5 liters per minute. Similarly, the pressure capacity of the pump should be 300 bar. As shown in this circuit, the valve V1 is used to bypass the flow control valve. When pump starts, it delivers 294.5 liters per minute for 8 seconds at 30 bar pressure. The flow will be through this valve V1 since it offers full flow and the flow control valve offers restriction to flow. This causes piston to move up by 200 mm with a speed of 1.503 meter per minute. After 8 seconds, the valve V1 will goes to off position automatically so that the flow will be through the flow control valve, which is set at 47.22 liters per minute. This causes piston to move up slowly with a speed of 0.24 meter per minute by 40 mm. The pump will remain on for next 20 seconds so as to maintain the system pressure of 300 bar during curing process. After 38 seconds, the pump will go off and position of direction control valve is changed so that the piston will be retracted under gravity. The molded part will be unloaded and fresh charge will be loaded for the next cycle. Now we analyze the input work using the fixed displacement pump. During rapid approach, the pump flow rate is 294.5 liters per minute, and since the pressure is resistance to flow, although pump capacity is 300 bar, the system pressure will be 30 bar only. Thus, input pressure and the flow are exactly same as output flow and pressure required. Hence, the input work or the energy supplied during rapid approach is 117.8 into 10 raised to 3 Newton meter. Now, during pressing operation, the pump is delivering 294.5 liters per minute, but the system requirement is only 47.22 liters per minute. The pressure is 300 bar. Thus, the input work is 294.5 into 300 divided by 600. This is power in kilowatt multiplied by 1000. So, power in watt multiplied by time in 10 seconds. So, 1472.5 into 10 raised to 3 Newton meter. During curing operation, in order to maintain pressure of 300 bar, the pump will continue delivering 294.5 liters per minute for next 20 seconds. Hence, the input work during curing process is 2945 Newton into 10 raised to 3 Newton meter, which is twice that of pressing operation. Now, no input work is of course done, no input work during this return as well as loading and unloading operations. Thus, the total energy supplied using the fixed displacement pump is 117.8 plus 1472.5 plus 29445.0, which is equal to 4535.3 into 10 raised to 3 Newton meter. Now we can calculate the efficiency as the work done divided by energy supplied and is equal to 7.8%. It is obvious that this efficiency is very low, and thus although the design of single pump circuit seems to be working nicely but is not energy efficient. So we will try another option using multi-pump circuit. Here, instead of using single fixed displacement pump, we will use two pumps as shown in this figure. The smaller pump with capacity 47.22 liters per minute operating at 300 bar, and a larger pump having capacity 294.5 minus 47.22, that is 247.3 liters per minute operating at 30 liters per minute. Thus, when both pumps are on, the flow rate is 294.5 liters per minute. Now during rapid approach, both pumps will be on supplying 294.5 liters per minute at 30 bar pressure. The energy supplied is therefore 117.8 into 10 raised to 3 Newton meter. However, during pressing operation, only small pump is on and the large pump is off. Therefore, the pump supply is 47.22 liters per minute only, which is same as that is required by the system, and hence the energy supplied during this part of cycle remains to 36.1 into 10 raised to 3 Newton meter. The small pump is running during curing process in order to maintain the pressure of 300 bar. Hence, the work input is 47.22 into 300 upon 600 into 1000 multiplied by the time 20 seconds, which is 472.2 into 10 raised to 3 Newton meter. Thus, the total energy supplied is 826.1 into 10 raised to 3 Newton meter, and therefore the efficiency of multi-pump circuit is 43%. Still, there is a scope for improvement in efficiency. So, we will now try accumulator circuit. When we use accumulator, we have to first decide the pump capacity. For that, we will first determine the total volume of fluid required during one cycle. As shown in this figure, for first 8 seconds, the flow requirement is 294.5 liters per minute, that is 294.5 liters for 60 seconds, and therefore for 8 seconds the volume of fluid required is 39.26 liters. Similarly, from 8 to 18 seconds, flow requirement is 47.22 liters in 60 seconds, and hence in 10 seconds the volume of fluid required is 7.87 liters. Thus, the total fluid required in one cycle is 39.26 plus 7.87, that is 47.13 liters. This value, if distributed over entire cycle of 75 seconds, the pump flow capacity will be then 60 into 47.13 divided by 75, which is 37.7 liter per minute or 0.628 liters per second. Now, with pump having a flow capacity of 37.7 liters per minute or 0.628 seconds, during first part of cycle, the flow will be through this flow control valve. The pump will supply 0.628 into 8, that is 5.02 liters, and the remaining part, that is 39.26 liters minus 5.02 liters, that is 34.23 liters, will be supplied by an accumulator. The accumulator will thus discharge during this part of cycle. Since accumulator pressure is 300 bar and the fluid supply will be 294.5 liters per minute at 300 bar, therefore the energy supplied will be 1178 into 10 raised to 3 Newton meter. Now during pressing operation, flow will be through another flow control valve. The pump will supply 0.628 into 10, that is 6.28 liters, and the remaining part, that is 7.87 minus 6.28, that is 1.59 liters, will be supplied by accumulator. The flow rate thus is 47.22 liters per minute at 300 bar, and the energy supplied is therefore 236.1 Newton meter. Since the pump is running for all 75 seconds, delivering 37.7 liters per minute at 300 bar, the total energy supplied is 1414 into 10 raised to 3 Newton meter. The system efficiency is therefore 25%. It should be noted here that although the cost of this design is more than previous two designs due to accumulator, the efficiency of system is still inferior to that of multi-pump circuit. It means more investment does not guarantee better performance of the system. The next circuit which we will be evaluating is intensifier circuit. Like accumulator circuit, for intensifier circuit also we have to determine the pump flow capacity. Since intensifier is used to amplify the pressure, the input pressure at intensifier is minimum system pressure, that is 30 bar, whereas the intensifier output is 47.22 liters per minute at 300 bar. From this we can compute the pump flow capacity from energy balance equation. Q1 P1 is equal to Q2 P2, and therefore Q1 is 472.22 liters per minute. During rapid approach, the pump will supply 472.22 liters per minute at 30 bar pressure. The flow control valve is used to adjust the flow rate for the system requirement of 294.5 liters per minute. During pressing operation as well as during curing operation, the intensifier will be used to deliver 47.22 liters per minute at 300 bar pressure. Thus, the intensifier circuit with the flow rate of 472.2 liters per minute at 30 bar pressure and will be supplying this flow for 38 seconds. Therefore, the energy supplied is 472.2 into 30 upon 600 into 1000 into time in second, that is 38 seconds, so which is 897.1 into 10 raised to 3 Newton meter, and the system efficiency is therefore 39.5%. The summary table shows that for the present case study, the performance of multi-pump circuit is superior than all other three options, whereas performance of single pump circuit is very poor. In case of accumulator as well as intensifier circuits, although investment is more, the improvement in the system performance is not up to the mark.